My name is Ariella Getreihendler. I'm an animal rights activist and vegan. So I started when I was about 14 years old. I saw a picture of a baby seal being battered with a hook, and I associated that to all animals then, and I thought, this has got to stop. I can't contribute to it anymore. So I stopped eating meat and I stopped wearing animal. I stopped abusing animals in the way that I knew about. Later on in my life, I became more aware of the animal rights movement. So I went to protests and I signed petitions and I became more active that way. During this time, I became a teacher, but what I did was that I displayed a lot of things in my classroom. So another thing that I did as a teacher was I thought I could promote something that I had read about called Meatless Mondays. So I started an organization called Teachers Care About Animals, and I joined an environment group of teachers through my union, and they funded me so I could have a workshop so I could teach other teachers about why it was important to have Meatless Mondays, and I really emphasized the ethical reasons. I became active in an organization called DXC, Direct Action Everywhere, and I became the choir leader there because I'm a musician and a singer, and I taught music at school. That was my contribution. I provided music to various activities that the animal rights movement in Toronto was doing. One day I saw a petition that was put out by Animal Justice about sled dogs. I had never considered what was going on with sled dogs, and I was outraged and thought somebody had to do something about this. So a friend of mine said, well, why don't you do something about it? So I did. So I started an organization called End Sled Dog Cruelty. I put it out on Facebook, got people involved in it, started organizing protests, and I got involved with Dogtails and sought help with ending this very cruel industry. Eventually, other people have are now leading it. So it's moving on. They're continuing the fight against they're trying to stop the Iditarod, and they're working very successfully. And it's a long struggle. It's a hard struggle, but they're working on it, and it's really important not to give up. I'd like to see the end of animal exploitation in every area, in the food industry, the clothing industry, the entertainment industry. And I'd like the government of Canada to stop subsidizing the meat and dairy industry. It's really important that people speak up. It's really important that people open their eyes, and it's really important that people who care about animals start coming out and being activists so that they can help spread the word. Being a vegan was a good start, was a start on an individual basis, but it's got to go beyond that. It's got to be louder, it's got to be stronger, it's got to have more power. There's power in numbers. We need people to come out, we need people to help spread the word. If people want to get involved, they can go to End the Sled Dog Industry on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Another way that people can help is by joining the Animal Save movement. They can be found on Facebook, on Instagram, and Twitter. I'm fighting for peace. I'm fighting for peace for all living beings, for all sentient beings, for all people, for all animals. This has got to change. The cruelty that animals experience has got to stop.